Alright guys, I just want to show you a real quick video on how to improve your soloing. All you need to know is chords, and you need to know how to play the major scale and a key, right? So in this example, I'll pick the key of C, and you need about 3 to 4 chords, because we're going to do a 4-bar loop, basically. I'll pick 3 chords in this example. So we got a C, which is the root, which is the 1 chord, and then we'll have G, which is the 5 chord, and then we'll have F, which is the 4 chord. And I'll just repeat the F chord at the end of that to give it 4 bars, right? So I'll put that down on the loop. Repeat the F. All right, so that's the loop, right? Now all you need to do is just gonna play, you're just gonna play the arpeggio. Or you can look at it as just playing the chord. So I played the chord like this, the C chord. So I'm gonna narrow down in on the roots of each of them, right? I got a C right here, then we'll narrow down the root on the next chord, which is G, and then we'll narrow down the root on the F chord, which is F, right? And then we'll find all of the thirds, right? So we have E, B to A. And then we'll have the fifths of each chord, which we have G, D, and C. Now it's okay if you don't know the note names, but you still have to know where they are on the fretboard. Okay, if that makes sense. All right, so again, we're just going to take each root, each third, and each fifth over the chord of each chord. So here's that example right now. I'll go to the thirds now. What you can do with that is, because that's very basic, right? But it still sounds good. Like it sounds like a melody, right? Now what we can do is we can dress it, okay? Which by dressing it, we add the notes that are diatonic, which means in the key, in between those notes, right? So in this case, I have a C as my first in the root, right? I'm trying to get to G. I can go in the major scale. That's all I'm doing. And then I gotta go to F, which is right next to it. So I could either go, right? Because we like to go like, you want to use like about 3 to 4 notes to get you to your chord tone, basically. Or you can go, right? So let me show you how that sounds. So good. And then we can do that also on the thirds and also on the fifths. I can just go through that real quick. On the fifth. Now that's, again, those are at the very basic forms, right? Because we're limiting ourselves to only playing basically the fifth, when you could just go at random. You could play the fifth of the C chord, you could play the third of the F chord, and the fifth of the G chord or whatever, right? You could do it in whatever order you want. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to understand the patterns around these notes when we're playing, because that's how we map out, you know, where we're going to go. If you don't know how to move, you don't know how to get there by simplifying it, then you won't really ever kind of learn how to, you know, navigate this thing, right? It'll just sound very random. Also you can hear that I'm kind of playing in time as well, because the time is kind of what makes it sound like it's like it belongs to. You can't just play this stuff like at a random timing, all right? Kind of lock into to the beat, right? So again, that's at its very basic form. And as you can see, I was kind of bending some of those notes as well. You can do some slides into these notes. That's all going to make it more musical. Like you know, if you're ever near a third, right? Specifically on the C chord, right? Because I can bend up to the third, all right, to the fourth. I'm sorry, and then on the G chord, I can bend up to the fourth. Can't do that on the F chord unless you're gonna bend up a whole step, all right? Good. But you can slide if you want to, or you can go from the 4, which is close to the 5, right? And I'm talking about in the chord, by the way. So I'm switching. I'm switching what's the root, what's the third, and what's the fifth based on the chord. Okay. So again, adding those slides, adding those bends is what's going to make it musical. Adding the notes that are in between this stuff is what's going to make it musical. But that's all I wanted to give you guys. I don't want to complicate this thing anymore. Just spend some time with that. And if you found this useful, please leave a like, and I'll make some more of these kind of videos.